The Roman historian Tacitus, one of the greatest historians of ancient Rome, provides us with a remarkable testimony about Jesus Christ. His writings, specifically in Annals Book 15, are a significant non-Christian source that confirms Jesus' historical existence, his execution under Pontius Pilate, and the persecution of early Christians under Emperor Nero. Tacitus's account is crucial because, as a Roman senator and historian, he had no reason to support Christianity. In fact, he viewed Christians with disdain, calling their faith a superstition. Yet, despite his bias, his work affirms many details found in the Gospels. This makes his testimony even more compelling, as it serves as an independent confirmation of Jesus' life and death. In this video, we'll explore who Tacitus was, what he wrote about Jesus, and how his record of Christian persecution under Nero aligns with biblical and historical evidence. If you've ever encountered claims that Jesus never existed, Tacitus's writings offer a powerful response. Before we proceed, please subscribe to our channel to stay updated on fascinating historical and biblical content. Your support helps us bring more well-researched videos like this one. Tacitus was born in 56 AD in Gallia Narbonensis, which is modern-day southern France. He was a Roman senator, historian, and governor, serving under the emperors Trajan and Hadrian. He gained recognition for his critical approach to history, often exposing corruption and incompetence within the Roman government. His works, Annals, and Histories are among the most valuable sources for understanding the political and social landscape of the Roman Empire. Unlike many other Roman historians who wrote to glorify Rome, Tacitus was more concerned with uncovering the truth. His sharp observations and detailed records earned him a reputation for being one of the most reliable historians of ancient times. His Annals, written around 116 AD, provide a year-by-year account of Roman history, including details about the emperors, significant events, and political intrigues. It is in Annals Book 15 that he makes one of the most important historical references to Jesus Christ and his followers. In Annals Book 15, Chapter 44, Tacitus describes the events surrounding the Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD. At that time, Emperor Nero was widely suspected of ordering the fire himself, possibly to make room for a grander version of Rome under his name. However, in an effort to divert blame, Nero pointed the finger at a relatively new religious group, the Christians. Tacitus writes, "To dispel the rumor, Nero substituted as culprits and punished with the utmost refinements of cruelty a class of men loathed for their vices, whom the crowd styled Christians. Christus, from whom the name had its origin, suffered the extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of one of our procurators, Pontius Pilate, and a most mischievous superstition, thus checked for the moment, again broke out not only in Judea, the first source of the evil, but even in Rome." This passage provides crucial historical confirmations. Tacitus refers to Jesus as Christus, the Latin form of Christ, affirming that he was a real historical figure. This directly contradicts the claims of some skeptics who argue that Jesus never existed. Additionally, Tacitus states that Jesus was executed under Pontius Pilate during the reign of Emperor Tiberius, which aligns perfectly with the Gospel accounts. Matthew chapter 27, verse 24 to 26 records this moment in history. "When Pilate saw that he was gaining nothing, but rather that a riot was beginning, he took water and washed his hands before the crowd, saying, 'I am innocent of this man's blood. See to it yourselves.' And all the people answered, 'His blood be on us and on our children.' Then he released Barabbas to them, and having scourged Jesus, delivered him to be crucified." Tacitus also calls Christianity a superstition, indicating that he saw it as a strange and potentially dangerous movement. This is significant because it proves he had no reason to promote Christianity or exaggerate Jesus' importance. His disdain for Christians makes his testimony even more reliable. He was not attempting to support their beliefs, but simply recording historical events as they were known. Tacitus does not just mention Jesus. He also describes the brutal persecution of Christians under Emperor Nero. In 64 AD, a massive fire engulfed Rome, destroying much of the city. Many people suspected that Nero himself had ordered the fire, as he had ambitions to rebuild Rome with grander structures that reflected his own vision. However, needing to deflect suspicion, Nero blamed the Christians. Tacitus records how this accusation led to widespread persecution. Accordingly, an arrest was first made of all who pleaded guilty. Then, upon their information, an immense multitude was convicted, not so much of the crime of firing the city as of hatred against mankind. Here, Tacitus makes it clear that the Christians were not actually accused of starting the fire. Rather, they were already despised by society. The phrase, hatred against mankind, suggests that Christians were seen as outsiders who rejected Roman customs and beliefs. Their refusal to worship the Roman gods or the emperor made them an easy target. Tacitus goes on to describe the horrifying punishments that Christians endured. Mockery of every sort was added to their deaths. Covered with the skins of beasts, they were torn by dogs and perished, or were nailed to crosses, or were doomed to the flames and burnt to serve as a nightly illumination when daylight had expired. This means that Christians were subjected to horrific punishments. Many were dressed in animal skins and torn apart by wild dogs, suffering brutal deaths for their faith. Others were crucified, just as Jesus had been, enduring the same agonizing execution their Savior faced. Some were even burned alive, used as human torches to light the streets of Rome at night. This level of cruelty is shocking, but it aligns with Jesus' warning to his followers in John chapter 15, verse 18 to 19. If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first. If you belong to the world, it would love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you. The early Christians faced unimaginable suffering, yet they remained faithful. Despite these horrific persecutions, Christianity did not die out, it flourished. The fact that so many early Christians willingly endured torture and death, rather than renounce their faith, is a powerful testament to the truth of their beliefs. People might be willing to die for what they believe to be true, but no one willingly dies for something they know is a lie. Christianity's rapid spread, even in the face of severe persecution, suggests that Jesus' followers were convinced of his resurrection. As Acts chapter 5, verse 41 to 42 states, the apostles rejoiced after being flogged for preaching about Jesus, considering it an honor to suffer for his name. Tacitus, a non-Christian historian, confirms Jesus' existence, his crucifixion, and the suffering of his followers. His writings stand as a powerful historical witness to the reality of Jesus and the unwavering faith of the early Christians. Despite attempts to silence them, Christianity only grew stronger. Even today, the message of Jesus continues to spread across the world. History has proven Jesus' words true. I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Matthew chapter 16, verse 18. If you found this video informative, please subscribe to our channel for more historical and biblical content. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Tacitus's account is strong evidence for Jesus? Thank you for watching. and may God bless you.